Christopher Norris from mining.com.au. Joining me today is Russell Bradford, Managing Director of Aston Minerals. Russell, great to see you.
Thanks. Good chance to have a chat, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Russell, assays back this week have shown extended mineralisation at Aston's B2 prospect. How significant is this?
We did a review of the drilling that we needed to be done, and there's two kind of areas in the Boomerang deposit. There's the Bardwell, which is down in the bottom, and then there's the B2 zone, which is where, the results have just been published. And what we wanted to do in the B2 before we move to Bardwell, and we'll talk about that just now, is understand its continuity, its size, and how it replicates what we've got at Bardwell. Well, that's what we've achieved. We've extended the mineralization, with the depth, with the widths, and, obviously with the strike, it's still open. I think we've satisfied our, let's say, understanding of what we've got there. It's almost a replica of what we're looking like at Bardwell. I guess what we're trying to do is understand the similarities between what we've got at B2, and there's a large block of nickel there now, hundreds of thousands of tons of nickel, and what we've got at Bardwell. So that's really what we wanted to understand. And there'll be more drilling to be done up there, but I think we've proved what we needed to do, and does it extend at depth and at strike? And yes, it does.
And you mentioned the similarities between B2 and the Bardwell nickel zones. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, if you look at the previous drilling that was done, there's 28,000 meters of drilling on this deposit so far. And a lot of that has been down in Bardwell. So we're actually at Bardwell now doing infill drilling. And that's important because what we'll be doing is short hole drilling, which then brings the resource to surface. It will also infill the existing, spacing of the drilling that we've done. So that will help improve the measured and the indicated, which is important to understand eventually where is the initial pit. Because that's a big question that we need to kind of get answered, soon. Where is the pit going to be? So at Bardwell, there's a large population of drilling. And at B2, we've done that extension drilling, so we know, well, with the nickels there, at Bardwell, let's get into the detail and do the infill drilling, and that's what we're doing right now.
And as you mentioned, the mineralisation at B2 extends for more than 800 metres, but it's still open at both ends along strike. What does this mean for future exploration?
Well, it's interesting because, we've got a massive kind of resource, 1 billion tons, 2 million tons of nickel. You've got to be careful that, keep looking and you'll find kind of thing. What we've got to do now is say, we've got enough on our plate. Let's now get into detail and start to understand how we're going to make this into a mine. So, we can keep drilling and we'll keep finding. And we've just seen that now with B2. Let's park that. And now let's get into some, proper detailed drilling to understand where this pit's going to be. So that's what we're doing now. I can go drill all over the place, and I know we'll find, but that's for later. At the moment, I think we've got at least 40 years of nickel ahead of us, right? It's a big mine. So let's now kind of wrap some detail around this with a detailed drilling program. It's exactly what we're doing at Bardwell. And then, get our heads around, well, where's this pit going to be?
That was Russell Bradford, Managing Director of Aston Minerals. Russell, thanks very much for your time.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity.